Okay. Hey, girl.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Big Sister Wellness Podcast. We are back, baby, for the third time.
No, let's be honest, this is probably the fourth, fifth, sixth. We've been on the struggle bus.
We've been on the struggle bus. It's fine. Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
We recorded 2 episodes last week, and the sound didn't even record. We did not record anything. We thought we did.
I'm taking the blame for it. It was my fault. I'm pretty sure that I didn't press record to start the podcast episode. So if you see me or Taylor double checking to see and make sure that this is still recording, that's why. That's what we're doing.
That is what we're doing. But today, I'm excited. Today, Brooks is sharing, for the second time with me, her health story.
Yes. Act surprised.
Yes, the first time with y'all, and it's so powerful, so I'm really excited. And she has a lot of wisdom, and she brings in a lot of her knowledge on her, what is this called? Your practice.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what you were trying to say.
I've got like 2 seconds of sleep, so just bear with me. Mom life.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm so excited to dive into it. But before we do, let's dive into just like our social feeds, what you've been seeing around the world, anything that's caught your eye that's interesting.
Yeah, girl. Okay. So first and foremost, June is Men's Health Month. So just shouting out all the men in your life, in our lives too, of taking care of themselves. I don't think there needs to be a specific day or month that they need to start taking care of themselves.
Amen.
But no better time than now. So just an encouragement. Also, that's on my heart right now because of a lot of our fertility population that we're seeing. And I see a lot of women, and I do see a lot of men, but sometimes it takes the men just a second longer to like get on track with their health. And remember, men are 50% of the equation when it comes to fertility. So just want to put that out there. The other thing though that I have as far as like pop culture goes is this idea of maxing, health maxing. I love it. I've been maxing everything. Wade is like, who's Max? I'm like, just trust. Okay. So if you see us posting about podcast maxing, I mean, that's what we're doing right now.
Y'all, I don't know what maxing is. So Brooks said this last week and I was like, I don't know what that is. I saw it one time, a girl that I follow because she has amazing hair. She was like hair maxing. And I was like, oh no, what is this? Help. So explain. Well,
you are doing what we're talking about. You even if you don't understand it, you're doing it right now. It's basically
maxing.
Yeah, it's basically just amplifying whatever activity you're already doing. It's a way of saying that you are, becoming more of or doing more of whatever it is. So podcast maxing. That's us. That's what we're doing.
We are maxing to the max. Let's go.
We're maxing.
We're maxing.
That's our brain.
Okay, I love it.
What about you, Taylor? What you got?
Man. Okay. Mine is kind of like off the wall, but you know what? We're gonna dive into it. So, mine is about the age of disclosure and aliens.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, baby. So, if you are not familiar with the age of disclosure, it's essentially the government and agency officials and government officials and all the high-ranking people coming out now because they have been keeping aliens a secret, okay, for so long. And now the documents and files and the secrets are all coming to light.
Okay.
And that's what the age of disclosure is. We are now in the age of disclosure. And now it's just like a normal thing to talk about. And I find it very interesting and very wild that UFOs, and I said this last week, but UFOs, well, now they're calling them UAPs, which freaks me out because I feel like it's like a Nicki Minaj video. I'm like, we're not calling it UAP. It's UFOs. We come in peace. And yeah, so anyways, I just find it wild. And I'm like, 20 years ago, if you would have been talking about aliens and saying, oh, I saw an alien or I believe in aliens, people would have been like, you're a weirdo, get away from me.
Right.
And now it's normal. So I'm like, do they just have a really good publicist or what's going on?
Right. What's going on here? So kind of same thing with the health maxing conversation, except alien maxing.
Alien maxing, yes.
That's all I could think about while you were just talking to Taylor. But last week, whenever Taylor told me about this, I was like, had not heard of it, age of disclosure, all the things. And so this was very interesting to me. I have not heard about it. But wait, tell them again, since I've already gotten to hear this, tell them about when y'all went to the movies and you saw the commercial.
Okay, so I took my son to go see a movie and a commercial came on, and it was a Mazda commercial. Started out with this lady, and she's just driving out in the open mountains, and she sees an orb. It catches her eye, so she's in her Mazda and she's chasing it. And then the commercial kind of just ends with her driving into this valley, and this huge UFO is just above her, and she smiles, and then the text goes Mazda, and I'm like, why? What is going on? They're just trying to make it very casual, like, oh yeah, aliens are just among us, and just everybody's chill about it. Get in your Mazda and go hang out with an alien. What?
It's not normal.
It's so strange. I did actually go see the movie Age of Disclosure.
Okay. What'd you think?
It was good. So Steven Spielberg, I think, is a very fascinating, what is he, a director, producer? I'm not really sure. But he was like, a lot of this information in this movie is more real life than not.
Ooh, and I was that's like, weird.
Ooh, that's crazy, because there's a lot of crazy stuff in there. And a lot of the clips that they were showing are clips that have already been released that we are seeing on the news. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so creepy.
Weird.
I know. So I'm just curious. What do you think? Do you think aliens are among us?
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think that I have all of the knowledge yet to really tell. I think that as humans, we are, praise God for each other, that we have each other, but also like, gosh, space and the galaxy and like all of that. I just feel like there's so much unknown, and I am not educated enough on it to be able to say definitively like, yes, there are, yes, there are not. So with all of this coming out, who knows? But also like, who knows if what's coming out is true? Who knows if, you know what I mean?
What are they trying to distract us from?
Yes.
Or, I will say the stuff that they were saying about the recovered UFOs. I don't want to like go into, this is an alien podcast, but I did find this really cool. That they were saying that these UFOs or UAPs, if you will, that they've recovered and they were trying to reverse engineer, they would look at them from the outside, and it looked like the size of this room. But when you entered the UFO, it was almost the size of a football field.
I can't even wrap my head around that.
Because the time and space is warped. It's so, look, I could nerd out on
Okay,
aliens.
Taylor's going to have a solo episode coming out soon.
Called Alien soon.
Alien Maxing.
Yes. Okay.
Anywho.
That was my pop culture topic for the
our
day.
little big sister chat. Like that's, you just never know what you're going to get. That's what we meant in the intro episode. If you watch that, of like having some fun, throwing some curveballs, like keeping it silly, because honestly, that's kind of who we are at our core.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes, perfect. And now we're going to dive into the wellness like y'all are here for. You're not here for aliens. Maybe you are. I mean, like if you want to talk about aliens.
I can only imagine if somebody like clipped that and edited all of that together. Like I'm sure people who are actually keeping up to date, not that you aren't, but people who are like really, really, really like into that are going to be like, these hooligans, like what are they spreading misinformation? We don't know. We're just throwing it out there.
I know. Like I'm an alien. Okay, let's dive into our actual wellness topic today, which is your health story.
Cool.
It's so great. Let's go. Let's get it, girl.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Big Sister Wellness Podcast, where one of us is a doctor and one of us loves going down the wellness rabbit hole and asking all the questions. And together, we're sharing our thoughts, what we're learning, and real conversations with experts along the way.
Think of us as your big sisters. Real talk, honest conversations, and lots of fun along the way. And you'll actually leave knowing what to do next for yourself and your family.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so we'll do my health journey on this episode, and then Taylor will share her own in an upcoming one. But yeah, my health journey started, I would say, when I was in college, actually in my undergrad at A&M. And I had been on the hormonal birth control pill for quite a while, for a couple of years. And really everything changed whenever I decided to get off of that. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to start actually even more so when I got on it. So I woke up one night when I was in high school and had horrible pain, what you would kind of consider like almost appendicitis-like pain, enough for my parents to take me to the emergency room. And on a quick examination, no appendicitis, some imaging revealed, and to this day, I am not sure for sure if there actually were ovarian cysts or if they just speculated that there were ovarian cysts. But what we were told is that they assumed that an ovarian cyst had ruptured based off of the location. And I know, yeah, it sounds as horrible as it felt.
Sorry.
I was probably 16 or 17.
Okay.
Yeah. And oh my gosh. At the time, my whole family, we were not on like a holistic health journey. So we took their recommendation, which was to go to a gynecologist, get more testing done, and then listen to them, basically. So that's what we did. So I got set up with a gynecologist, and she ended up recommending pretty darn immediately hormonal birth control. So got on it, and full transparency, I was not sexually active. The only reason that I was on this pill was because of the ovarian cyst that was ruptured. Anyway,
Big air quotation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, and I assume that is what happened, but yeah, I don't really know that it was like, I don't even think that they could truly say that it was for sure. And I'm not saying they were hiding that. They were, I think, really honest about it. But nonetheless, that's what we're assuming happened. So got on the pill, was on it just unquestionably, which I take a lot of ownership for now. And so do my parents and my mom. We've talked a lot about this. And was on it for a couple of years. Fast forward to college, which I started this conversation with. And I had my own journey I started off in Mays Business School my freshman year at A&M, decided that I wanted to become a chiropractor based off of my mom. My mom is who actually introduced me to the chiropractor.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she started going for the most common reason that you would go to a chiropractor, at least that most people know about, which is low back pain, and experienced a lot of relief and healing herself, and knew that I cared about my health, knew that I liked to move my body and work out and eat relatively well. And she was like, I think you would love it because chiropractic's so much more than pain. It's also about wellness and prevention. And what doctor's office do you go to where people are smiling and happy and there's babies and kids and grandparents and everybody in between? And so I was like, sure. So when I went home for spring break, I went. And even though I went for the least common reason that somebody sees a chiropractor, which is like no pain at all, I still experienced benefits. I felt like my sleep was better. I could focus better in class. My body recovered better from workouts. And from then on, it was truly the God moment of like, this is what you're meant to do. Like, this is your purpose. So changed my major to kinesiology, pursued chiropractic school, and we'll continue to talk about that in a second. But I'm going to pause us in that story of amidst that journey of discovering more about chiropractic. The more I learned about chiropractic, and this is what I love about the profession, is the more that I learned about health, right? I was learning about this adjustments and chiropractic care, but really what chiropractic is about is teaching people about health, not just about masking sickness, masking symptoms or disease, and amplifying the health in their body that God designed them to have. So the more that I discovered that, my nutrition started to change, my workouts even started to change to reflect more of where I was at on my cycle. Well, cycle, that got me thinking, what about my cycle? People, in this profession are calling it the fifth vital sign. It must be really important. So I started reading a book called Beyond the Pill by Dr. Jolene Brighton. And I was maybe a chapter in, maybe not even. And I was shook, as they say. I started to realize, oh my gosh, the hormonal pill that I'm on is not actually even helping me have a regular period as I was told it was going to do. It's actually telling my brain and my body to disconnect and let it do all of the work. And that can't be good. That just started to resonate with me. And again, even though I wasn't sexually active, I was like, that can't be good long term or short term. And I was also learning just how it depletes your body of minerals and all of the things that you just need to live a healthy, vitally functioning life. So I called my gynecologist and I was like, hey, I want to get off of the hormonal birth control pill. Can I do that? Thinking that she's going to be like, well, because of your ovarian cysts, we want to be really careful about that. No. She was like, yeah, you can get off of it whenever you want. And I was like, I felt like there were little like crickets just playing in my ear. Like, what do you mean I can just get off of it whenever I want? Why have I even been on it then in the first place? Like, it clearly wasn't that important for me to get on it if I can just get off of it whenever I want. And I'm speaking with maybe some ill-sounding tone towards her.
No, not at all. I'm right there with you.
But really, what I want you guys to take out of this is I started to recognize the ownership over my own health and wow, I can sit around and be angry that this medical provider really just did what she was trained to do. Let me be clear, right? Because she is trained to look at symptom and then look at medication or treatment or procedure to fix that. Whole other conversation about fixing, but nonetheless. Or I could say, hey, I had the choice and I chose, to get on it. So I'm going to learn from this. So I followed Dr. Jolene's nutrition plan to get off of the birth control pill, and I did that. And ever since, I've had a normal cycle. Now, I say normal a little bit loosely because there was a time where I started having really elongated cycles, longer cycles, and I went through kind of a little health journey with that, working with a nutritionist, upping my chiropractic care, changing my workout routine to be more cycle syncing, things like that, to shorten them back down to, which I'm really proud of that. It was a really cool journey.
That's really cool. That's a whole other episode.
Yes. We need to do something on cycle syncing or just
1000%.
Girls' periods and everything.
Yeah.
Anywho, but I have had a period every month to month and a half when it was longer since getting off the pill. And I say that because I can't tell you how many girls I sit across from who are on the pill, and you guys are like, I don't want to get off of it. You're more scared of the journey of getting off of it than you are of staying on it. And that scares me. As your healthcare provider, that scares me. Now, I firmly believe that we should not lead with fear. So when I'm talking to girls about this, I'm not trying to scare you into getting off of it. I actually take a really soft approach of I'm here to support you in whatever you choose to do. And I want you to know that I have a journey with that, and I'm happy to share my story with you if you want, or give you the resources of what that could look like. I recommend the book that I read and just referenced. So anyway, fully supportive of whatever you want to do because health is your choice, but also let's talk if you want to talk. You know what I mean? So that really woke me up to just taking ownership over health. And it really also helped me own my own health story, going into chiropractic school and then now being able to serve other people. And so that's kind of what's got us here today. I will say one other thing though, Taylor. As I was in chiropractic school, not everything was just about my period. I wouldn't say that that's the only thing I focus on in practice. What it really allowed me to see though was that health is all-encompassing. It's so multifactorial. There's so many avenues you can go down. And so what helps me simplify that, or what has helped me in school simplify that, was really looking at the control center, which is the nervous system. Because the nervous system, whole other podcast, I'm sorry, I'm going down this rabbit hole, but the brain is actually what tells most of your organs, all of your organs, what to do and when to release what hormones. So when I learned that, I was like, oh my gosh, well, tell me more about this nervous system. I want to learn more about the nervous system, and knowing that God designed our body fully connected, and that's the control center. I dove into the nervous system, graduated from chiropractic school, and have just been on a journey of creating more generational health in this world, and specifically in Bryan College Station now.
It is so powerful. Is that not so powerful? And it's so cool that you took matters into your own hands. You took your health into your own hands, and you felt that calling from God, right? You felt it.
Totally.
And you were like, no, I'm going to change health.
Yeah.
One of the big things that Brooks and I, when we started talking, our heart behind this podcast, we were both like, we are so sick of people being sick. What the heck can we do?
Totally.
To help with this epidemic of people being sick. And I have a lot of questions for you.
Go for it.
I have
Shoot.
new questions than I did last time.
Okay, cute.
Okay, so I want you to dive in a little bit deeper. You said the 5th vital sign. Let's dive in a little bit deeper than that, because I've never heard that before. And I think that's really cool. I want to hear more.
Yeah, 100%. So really what we're talking about there is a woman's period gives you so much information. Really any function or system in the body, but specifically pertaining around female health, right? It gives you so much information if you listen to it. So if you have irregular cycles, that's telling you something. That's a signal from the body, right? If you have regular cycles, that's telling you something. That's telling you about healthy balance. And no, I don't just mean of hormones, because you're going to see out there on social media, well, women's hormones shouldn't be balanced. There should be imbalances in certain parts of the cycle. Yes. But for lack of having to give a caveat every 5 seconds, hopefully y'all know what I mean when I say balance. But it is so incredibly important. And your period is a form of detox.
Yes.
Okay, not necessarily your cycle, right? Your cycle, if you're trying to conceive or you get pregnant, you're not trying to detox that. But your period is a form of detox. So if you are having an irregular cycle, that can tell you a lot about your detox pathways. If you're having a regular cycle, again, same thing, it can tell you about detox pathways. So all that I'm trying to say with fifth vital sign is it is so important to understand. And you can if you understand your cycle, right, you can understand so much more about your health. Insulin resistance, which we can talk all about,
yes.
right? Detox pathways, like we said. It just gives you so much information, just like heart rate or blood pressure or breath rate, just like those other vital signs can give.
That is so interesting to me. I need to dive in deeper.
Yeah. We'll have to do a whole episode.
A whole other thing.
Yeah.
Last episode, you brought this up, and I think it's really important that you touch on it again.
Okay.
You said a lot of women and you might have just brought it up. I'm not really sure.
No, you're okay.
You said that a lot of women will sit across from you and say, "Oh, well, I'm on birth control and my period is this many days." You're like, "You're not actually having a real period if you're on birth control."
Yeah.
So go into that.
Yes. So one of the things that was really illuminated to me in that book was that when you're on the hormonal birth control pill, you may bleed, but they call it a withdrawal bleed. You're really not fully bleeding in the way that the body was designed to do, right? And that's fascinating to me. And a lot of girls don't even bleed when they're on their period. So I'll have some girls who say, "Oh yeah, I have a normal period. I bleed for 3 to 4 days, once a month. It's super routine." That's not fully a period, because what the hormonal birth control pill is doing is it's stopping ovulation. So you're not ovulating. That egg isn't traveling into where it needs to be removed from your system in a true period. So if ovulation isn't happening when you bleed, you're not truly ridding the system of that egg that should have dropped in. Okay. The second part of that is a lot of girls will say, "Oh, I don't even have a period. It's great." Yikes. And I know, and I hear you, girl, but like also again, I don't want to fearmonger, but what is scarier to me, or what is even better or healthier to me, let's go the positive route, is if you're having a regular cycle where cramping is minimal and bleeding isn't, extreme and all of these things, that can happen if you address the right things. So whenever girls are super excited that they don't even bleed and they don't even have a period, I can see why that would be, especially if in the past you've had extremely painful ones, but know that extremely painful periods are not normal. They're just common, and common does not always equal normal.
Yes.
I hope that covered it.
No, it did.
Without getting too nitty gritty and all of the anatomy.
Yes. And I want to touch on, I said this last time, I want to touch on what you were saying about being on your period. And some women are like, "Oh, it hurts. I'd rather it just not." God designed our bodies. I truly believe, and so does Brooks, that God gave us these bodies, right? And He truly designed our bodies to be able to heal themselves on their own naturally, right? In some cases, you're going to need medicine and medical intervention, but in most cases, our bodies are designed to heal themselves.
Yeah.
And I also want to kind of go into the fact that cramping is 1000% a normal thing. God never promised us this pain-free life.
Yes.
He gave us this Sorry, what I'm trying to say is the pain that you're feeling has a purpose.
Yes.
It has a purpose. And just like Brooke said, whether it's detox, getting rid of the eggs that you're not using that month, it all has a purpose, and that comes to an end. And speaking in menstrual cycle terms. So I just,
the only thing I want to add to that, because Taylor is so on par here. And remember, I don't want to have to give a caveat every 5 seconds, but like, we're not talking about extreme pain. Right. Okay. We're talking about manageable cramping. Okay. And the purpose too, which I know we touched on a little bit last week, but I just want to bring in, is either to get us to get us to the end, right, of the period. And the cramping is actually muscularly helping detox and helping rid the wall throughout the reproductive system to get rid of that egg, like we talked about. So there is a purpose there on your period. But then also we talked about, if we want to take it a step further, even preparing you for childbirth, preparing you for pregnancy, which I can't speak to quite yet, but Taylor can. And so anyway, there's even that mindset and purpose of like, I know there's been cycles where I have had more painful periods, not extreme pain, but just more uncomfortable. And I just, as silly as it might sound, like try to remind myself, like, this has a purpose. And like, if I was, pregnant right now, or if I was giving birth right now, like, how would I handle that? And that really gives me like good perspective on, okay, how I treat my body right now when it is cramping is also what I'm going to bring into pregnancy and birth and postpartum when that's happening too.
Such a strong mindset. And I could talk about diaphragmatic breathing.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can get into what helps with that and everything.
Yes.
But yeah.
And I just think that's so cool. My other question, because now I'm really into like this period talk right now. What is happening when your body is not ridding those eggs? What happens to those eggs?
Wait.
Are they just chilling?
That's a really good question.
Are they just like, I don't work anymore, so I'm just going to hang out?
No, that's a really great question. Okay, I want to deep dive into all of this, but I do feel like we need a whole episode.
Okay.
Like a whole episode on just making all of those answers really clear and specific, because I'm worried if I answer that, it's going to be too rushed. And
that's fair.
Yeah, we're going to keep going down the rabbit hole. So episode coming soon on that.
That's fair. My other question on birth control. So when I was growing up, I was also on birth control. I feel like it was a thing. Like, oh, you don't want acne? Birth control. Oh, you have period cramps? Birth control. I'm like, take it up with Eve. I don't know what to tell you. Like, everybody has acne when you're awkward in high school. Like, get over it. But then, you're going through it and you're like, I can't have this pimple on my face.
Totally.
I need all the birth control. So dumb. But how do you think? I read a statistic the other day, and I wish I could remember the actual numbers. This guy was obviously being very dramatic when he said it, but I was kind of like, oh, I mean, you're kind of on par.
Sure.
He said that the human population could be endangered in not a couple of years, but let's say like 20 years, because of the amount of birth control and what that has done to women over the years. Not only to women, but think about now it's in our environment. So like when we are going to the restroom, now it's in the water, that's coming back up through our system. The men are now being affected by those hormones. Fertility rates are dropping drastically. And this man was saying, oh, we are going to be an endangered population if we do not address this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow.
It's intense and it can be scary to think about, but I do think it's worthy of conversations like this, just to bring to attention, hey, even if you don't want to go down like this extreme mindset on that, I think it's worth having a conversation of like, okay, well, let's talk about how it's impacting people, one-on-one, and then how is that impacting our community? And then you can really think about how it's impacting our world. But if you don't want to go down the extreme mindset, just think about what the pill is doing and how that impacts the human body, right? Break it down into its simplest form. And we need to have a whole episode too on like extreme health topics and kind of takes.
For sure. I love it. And I do want to say the birth control, not only affecting our reproductive system and men's hormones and our hormones. Yes. In conjunction with how socially awkward I feel like some of our younger generation is becoming because of screens, and they're hiding behind screens.
Oh, for sure.
And people, there's researchers and scientists. I'm not promoting alcohol binging and drinking, but this man was saying, look, these kids aren't drinking anymore. Like, and it's so awkward. They're so awkward sometimes. Like, go have a beer and meet a girl.
Go out,
Go
be social
and be social. They're hiding behind screens. Now their hormones are messed up. No one's having kids. I'm like, okay. Bye.
But when you think about it,
the aliens are gonna take over. Oh my gosh, here we go.
Here we go again, Taylor with the aliens. No, but you're right. I mean, you can really go down the rabbit holes. And this is where, like, on the podcast, things can get serious, really, really quick. But also it's important to remember in those moments of when we're seeing those videos, or you're even hearing us talk about some strong opinions that we have around these very normalized medications or procedures or health mindsets, simplify it to what is it and how does it interact with the human body? And then how could that change the human body for good or for bad? And then you can really take it to the next level. Okay, if it's changing the human body in this way for the good, or this way to the bad, right? What does that do for people's social lives? What does that do for people's mental health? What does that do for the relationships that they have? What does that do, so forth and so on?
Yeah, it's a domino effect. And I'm scared. I'm kidding. I'm the dramatic one.
We'll bring it down. We'll bring it down.
I don't know. Just kidding. Okay, my last question.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
How do you feel about our bodies in the medical industry not being treated as a whole or as one part? And there's so many different specialists. You know, we got ENT, we got thyroid, we got endocrinologist. Well, thyroid and endocrinologist are the same, but gynecologist, you know, everything is treated, oh, you're having cramps, let me send you to this specialist, and oh, you have an earache all the time, let me send you to this specialist.
Yeah.
How do you feel about all these specialists only treating one specific little tiny thing and not looking at the body as an actual whole?
Yeah. I have strong opinions about this. Thank you for asking.
Oh, do you?
Let's go. I feel as though we have lost the art of the human body, the way it was designed. What I mean by that is it's connected to so many other things. And while specialists can be incredibly helpful, absolutely not denying that whatsoever, I think that they're highly overutilized.
Amen.
I also think that they are let's see if I can put this into words. I think that they are a perfect representation of America's healthcare system, in that we are separating the human body into parts, like Taylor was saying, and therefore treating it that way, like truly medications, procedures, invasive treatments,
Right.
whatever that may be, versus looking at how does the human body work, fully connected, and helping people understand that first and foremost, versus learning from a young age of an ear infection, let me take an antibiotic, or eardrops. I have a stomach bug, different conversation.
Yeah.
Stomach ache, right? Let me take Pepto-Bismol. I have a headache, let me take a Tylenol. I have a fever, let me take this, that, or the other, right? Separating these things and then putting a Band-Aid patch on it. Let's help people understand how the body's actually designed, how God created the body. And that'll solve a lot of problems, which is why we're doing this podcast, one of the reasons. But also helping practitioners, this is a twofold conversation, helping practitioners, you can argue helping them learn more about how the body was actually designed, versus training all of these doctors to specialize, which again is needed sometimes, just not all of the time if you can address earlier on how connected and root causes and all of that. Yes. But the second part of that conversation, in my opinion, is do we just, is that too big of a fight, right? Do we just let the medical system be the medical system and we just really need to arm humanity with advocating for themselves and taking ownership over their health and understanding what health is and what what their body was designed to do? And my personal thought on that is, I think there's somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of a both girl. So I think that there's some way that somehow, right, we can bridge that gap. But in the meantime, it is pretty extreme. It's kind of like you either enter into America's sick care system and go down whatever ping-ponging of events they send you to. Okay, we're back. We think the batteries died. So here we go. What I was saying is there's kind of two extremes to the sick care system, is what it feels like. Sometimes you either go fully medical into all of the specialists and still leave with oftentimes not a lot of answers, or you just say, you know what, I'm handling all of this myself And I've had several patients who they don't go to like a primary care physician. They see chiropractors, or they see more naturally minded practitioners, naturopathic doctors, functional medicine doctors, or they get their blood work done once a year, twice a year. They wear continuous glucose monitors. They just track their health in a different way to avoid having to go into the sick care system, into the medical system. So anyway, what I'm saying is there's kind of those two extremes, and oftentimes it can feel like you've got to pick one or the other. But hopefully with time and education, as I was saying earlier, of teaching people how the body actually works, empowering them for what health actually is, amplifying more health in people's bodies, and teaching kids from a young age, which you can argue starts with teaching the kids or starts with the parents to then start changing their own lifestyles and teaching that to their kids. Absolutely. Creating more generational health, which is what we're all about. Right. And hopefully there's somewhere in the middle that we can help bridge those gaps so that people aren't left feeling like it's one or the other and then just don't end up doing anything about helping their own health and generationally their kids and so on.
Yes. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I say this all the time, but listening to your body, just go back to the basics.
Yeah.
Your body will throw you red flags all the time, whether it is a rash on your skin that keeps coming up, psoriasis, or
constant ear infections, tonsillitis,
mouth problems,
yes,
teeth problems, eye problems. Like, just look at what your body is telling you. And that's where you need to find that root cause, right? The red flags all the time, because in my situation, and we'll talk about my health story next week, but I ignored all these red flags, and then eventually my body was like, well, I'm surrendering. Here's the white flag. And oh man, I wish I could go back and just be like, why did you not see the writing on the wall? But kind of my thing about the, finding the root cause. Do you know who Dr. Casey Means is?
Oh yeah.
Love her.
Good Energy.
I love her book, Good Energy.
Read that book.
Y'all, that book is so eye-opening. I will shout that from the rooftops.
Yeah.
She is one of the coolest people ever. But in her book, I believe she said that it was either 96 or 98% of serotonin is made in your gut. Okay? Which serotonin, is it a hormone?
Yep. It's like your feel-good hormone.
Your feel-good hormone.
Happy hormone.
Y'all, people, knowing that, people will go in, and doctors should know this, right? And they'll go in, oh, I'm depressed, I have anxiety, and not look at what they're eating. Like, we've got to go back to the basics.
Yeah.
And they will just start getting on, anxiety medicines, which, oh my gosh, will lead you to a revolving door of even more medical problems down the road. But going back to the boring basics is step number one.
Yeah.
Right? More sunlight, move your body. Move your body the right way, just like Brooks was saying, especially if you're a woman, syncing that with your cycle, eating whole, real foods. This ultra-processed stuff is kicking our butts.
Yeah. And our kids.
Drinking more water. And here are the last two that I think we as Americans, I feel like this is so hard for a lot of people, especially in today's society where everything is so rushed and everything is, I got to get on this trend, I got to get on that trend, I got to keep up, do this, do that. And there's so many fads. Again, go back to the basics. Y'all, prioritizing sleep and prioritizing your stress is a game changer.
Totally.
It is a game changer. I can't talk on sleep. I'm a mom and I can't sleep. Right now, I need to prioritize it. But oh wow, how powerful and how boring, but
powerful.
It is. That's the best medicine right there.
Absolutely. A lot of people are shocked when they come to see us. Well, not a lot of people, because we are really clear about who we are and that we're not a typical chiropractor. We're really looking at the nervous system and how to best support the nervous system with regular chiropractic care and all of those other things that you said. And a lot of people will come see us and their homework are a lot of what Taylor just said. It's making sure they're prioritizing sleep hygiene habits. It's getting minimum 30 minutes of sunshine a day, if not more, at the right times in the day, right? It's cycle syncing the workout. It's not rushing through life. It's slowing down. There's just so many of those boring things that you said, Taylor, that if you could walk away with anything from this episode, regardless of anything else that we've said, the aliens, my health story, all the things, take that away. And we'll probably, I drink every time that we say this, but we'll probably do a whole episode on that, because that is truly where healing happens. Everybody wants the magic pill. Me and my acupuncturist, Jessica, were talking about this, and everybody wants the magic pill to be fixed. And that is not how health works. Okay. I've seen miracles play out, and the Lord is good and he can work those miracles. And I will say, oftentimes where the miracles do happen is time and repetition and faith and surrender, and trusting in him and doing all of those basic boring things. Also, if you're listening to this and you don't follow us on Instagram, you need to follow us there. Big Sister Wellness Podcast on Instagram. We are hoping to be on all of the streaming platforms, Spotify and Apple Podcasts specifically, so watch out there. And because we're on video, we'll probably be uploading to YouTube too. Awesome. So subscribe here, there, wherever you're watching us from.
Wherever you're watching. And do not forget to send us a message on Instagram. Yep. That's where we're going to do our DMs and messages, and anything that topics or questions that you may have, shoot them there. And we are all ears, and we're so excited to bring more topics and more. We have a cool audience coming on, hopefully soon.
Yes.
That it's going to be fun.
Yeah, really great guests.
More cool guests, more cool information, and we're so excited for y'all to join us and our alien friends.
What a way to end it. Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all. See you next week.